Please welcome Debbie Sterling.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. My story begins when I was a little girl. And like most little girls, I was obsessed with princesses. I loved dolls and dress up, and my role model was Snow White. I wanted to be beautiful just like her. But I also had a wild side. In this photo, I'm stealing my cousin Yuri's train tracks moments before biting him so hard in the rear end, we had to go to the hospital. But that's not the point of the story. The point is that those were his train tracks, not mine. And his role model was Thomas the Train. And back then, that's the way things were. Dolls were for girls, and building sets were for boys. So fast forward to my senior year of high school. I loved math, I loved science, and as you can tell by my yearbook photo, I was also an angel. And so it should have come to no surprise when my math teacher said, "Hey, I think you should study engineering in college." And I thought, engineer? I pictured a train driver. I didn't know what engineering even was, but thanks to her, I decided to give it a try, and I fell in love with it. The problem was, I was one of only very few girls in my classes, and in fact, only 14% of engineers are women. I started to notice that all the guys in my classes had grown up playing with building toys, and that made them want to engineer. And so I wondered, what does the toy store look like today? I'm sure by now the times have changed, right? So I went to the toy store the very next day, and I discovered the pink aisle. It was full of ironing boards and tea sets and dolls that looked like they belonged on a street corner. And so I knew I had to do something about it. And now I'm an engineer, right? And so I decided I wanted to invent an engineering toy for girls, the toy that I'd wish I'd had growing up. I invented this character named GoldieBlox, a girl engineer, and I started writing stories about her and the things that she would build and invent to solve problems with simple machines. And I created this building set to go along with it so that girls could tinker and build along with Goldie. And I thought, well, this is the greatest invention ever. I brought my prototype to the New York Toy Fair with the hopes of finding a mentor. But everybody there kind of looked at me with pity. They said, "Girls don't like building. Girls just want to be princesses. You can't fight nature." I was so dejected, I almost gave up. But I decided, these guys have it all wrong. I'm going to do it anyway. So in 2012, I launched GoldieBlox on Kickstarter with a simple message. Girls deserve more than what the pink aisle has to offer. My Kickstarter video went viral, and before I knew it, I had done almost $1 million in pre-orders online. And on the very last day of my campaign, I got a phone call from Toys R Us. The buyer said, "Hey, I saw you walking up and down our pink aisle in your video, and you're making us look like jerks." And so before I knew it, GoldieBlox was on the shelves of Toys R Us nationwide, and we had disrupted the pink aisle. But then we had a problem. The toys weren't selling. So I asked Toys R Us, what do we do? They said, well, usually national TV commercials work. Well, we couldn't afford that. So on a $5,000 budget, we invited our Kickstarter backers to meet us at the Toys R Us parking lot, and we filmed a video of them rushing the pink aisle. Seconds before we got kicked out by the security guards, we got the shot, we posted online, and GoldieBlox breaking into Toys R Us went viral. But then we had another problem, which is most kids and their parents are intimidated by engineering. And so we decided to build a giant Rube Goldberg machine out of stereotypical princess toys. We put the video online, 12.5 million views in the first week. We got on Good Morning America, the Today Show, and we had proved to the world that engineering can be fun. We continued to spread our message through videos and social media, challenging the stereotypes in the children's toys and media. And all of this momentum led us to become the first startup to win a free Super Bowl commercial by popular vote and a float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And by then, hundreds of millions of people had heard our message loud and clear. And then this domino effect started to occur, where Target took down its gender labeling in its aisles, Barbie all of a sudden is getting into computer science, and even Bratz dolls, the typical street corner dolls, got into STEM. But despite all of this progress, many people and many executives in the children's toy and media industry still believe that in their heart of hearts, girls just want to be princesses. Disney has built a multi-billion-dollar franchise around this princess phase, and it becomes a rite of passage for girls around the world. But I happen to know, and I've learned over the last 6 years, that the next phenomenon for girls isn't the princess, it's the maker. And I have personally witnessed young girls who love building and coding and making and inventing. They're starting companies before the age of 10. This is the maker generation, and I want GoldieBlox to be the face of the maker generation. Because I believe that when you inspire girls to be makers, they will change the world. Thank you so much, and please visit GoldieBlox.com/embraceambition to learn more.